True devotion needed. That's covered in Matthew 6:19 through 24. Somebody please read that, or elect me to.
Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourself treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, the whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, the whole body shall be full of darkness. If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness? No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon.
Okay. Alrighty, and then going into the priority of the kingdom, Matthew 6 verses 25 through 34. Someone?
NIV.
Okay.
Do not worry. Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more important than food, and the body more important than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Who of you, by worrying, can add a single hour to his life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the lilies of the field grow? They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all of his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you? O you of little faith. So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink, or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But first seek his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own.
Okay. All right.
Pastor.
Yes, sir.
Okay, in Matthew, verse 23. Okay, it says 6:23. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. And therefore the light that is in you is darkness. How great is that darkness? When we were reading that, I go, man, boom, don't we need I know it sounds kind of like crazy, but don't you need kind of like darkness in you so you could balance things? Like, that's how it is. Man, even, I don't know, even God, he punishes you.
It sounds like you're a proponent of yin and yang.
Because you can't be nice all the time.
Sure you can. Why not? No, wait, why not? Why you say you can't? Why do you say that? Because you personally have never been able to?
Well, it's the people around that make you be like that, or
No, don't even go there.
No?
Nope.
Well, can you explain to me?
How you behave is entirely how you behave. Doesn't have anything to do with any other one person ever. Not ever. That's a common refrain among a lot of people with whom I work. It's almost like that Flip Wilson shtick that he used to do. The devil made me do it.
Yeah.
No, the devil didn't make you do it.
No.
If you were willing to do it, if you were willing to enter into that darkness that the devil offers you, but no, you can't you can't do that. So, you know,
so you don't think the darkness was made so it could be like leveled?
well, no, not at all. First of all, there can't be a levelness of dark and light because the tiniest little light will dispel the darkness. You can't have so much darkness that it prevents the light.
No, but not.
You just can't. Okay.
Okay, so
Okay. This is what Dr. Welch refers to as a bucket of worms. Who had the hand up next? Which? Wait. Did you have the hand up first before him?
I have
you wanna go? Okay. So okay, you're not supposed to act according to if you don't like whatever the other person's doing. But would it be okay if you don't like how somebody's acting around you? Would it be okay if you to just walk away? Is that okay,
What do you
or
think?
is that being kind of?
Well, if you happen to not like what I'm doing, I expect that you'll get about as far as Steve, and then have a declaration, something to the effect of you're not allowed to leave them whether you like them or not.
Yeah, because
Now,
I understand
that may
what
sound
he's-
crass, but
I understand what he's trying to say too, because I've done that mistake too, where I don't like how somebody's behaving, and
if
then
you're if you're in a house of evildoers, certainly get out of the house.
But then, would it be okay? Okay, would it be okay for me to walk away if I don't like what somebody else is doing?
Yes.
You know, that's not a question that can be answered validly from any one source, because what you like is a whole lot different perhaps than other people like. You know, sometimes when my wife is cooking up a storm, my wife's Vietnamese, as many of you know, sometimes you can walk into the house and it's extremely aromatic. Now I have an option. I can walk into that house and maybe throw up or go somewhere else.
Okay.
And sometimes when, you know, sometimes, you know, anybody ever heard of, gosh, see, it ran away from me almost as quick. There's a fruit that's the Vietnamese are extremely partial to.
Papaya?
Huh?
Papaya?
No. What the heck? Ken, you have any idea what that might be?
You know, like some of that would be played on
Yeah.
Star fruit?
Doesn't look like a fruit, but it's awful. When they open the shell of it,
Jackfruit.
no, it's not jackfruit.
Start with a T.
You know, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's amazing because it's a part of my life, you know, and I just can't remember it. It's one of those things that happens when you get old, you know. Just you got the thought and then you start.
There's that nasty fruit that they put in the papaya. I mean, in the
No, it's not favorite.
boba drinks that. The
Yes.
Mangosteen.
No,
Oh, that's what it says here.
no, it's not mangosteen. It's
It's just this fruit.
Fruit with
There you go. There's your favorite Vietnamese fruits.
tell me what they are.
Is it sour taste? What kind of flavor? Like what?
Mango, mangosteen.
Don't make a presumption that I've ever eaten it.
Durians.
Durian.
There's your durian.
Durian. Let me give you an idea what.
Just
Let me give you an idea.
spicy
Yeah.
and
I mean, you got to know how to cut that thing apart.
It's
But
a
as you're cutting it apart, visualize this. Visualize the football team of your favorite high school,
Awesome.
and they played 3 games in a row
We have a shower.
without getting their clothes washed, and it's the end of school year, and they stick all that stuff in their locker. And then 3 months later, in a normal school, if they have normal schools around here, they go back and they open up their locker. Just imagine that aroma if you could.
dead.
Just imagine that aroma.
Our room.
It's dairy.
That's how it smells.
That's durian, and that's a fruit.
I'm going to stick to the pineapple.
Imagine the vegetables.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here we go.
And they make boba, and they make smoothies out of that.
What?
Rambuche.
They make smoothies out of that.
And they put it in.
Huh?
Smells like that, even that?
Ken, I don't know. Because the one thing I will tell you there's a military maneuver, and it's called about face. And you could be walking forward, and then something says about face, you turn around 180 degrees and go the other direction. That's what I do when my wife's opening up durian.
Do you eat it though?
No, can't even get near it. I have no idea what it tastes like. I'm afraid. And I'm on camera. I'm going to be in trouble for this one. But you know, I don't know if there are any Americans who eat durian aside from those chef guys that travel the world, Bourdain and whoever else. You know, they do all that stuff. They look for stuff like this. I see a durian in my refrigerator and I just watch. Because on the day that my wife decides she's going to open that, I'm going to be very busy elsewhere. Probably somewhere else in the county. But my point is,
Yes, sir.
Vietnamese people love that thing. I don't want to go into a house. I'm personally, I don't like anything that lives or grows in the water. So when I walk into a house and they're cooking shrimp and clam and all these different things, it's very tough for me. Now I could sit there and endure it, and depending on the circumstances, I may. I mean, if we're having a birthday party for my mother-in-law, for example, there ain't a lot of choice. I got to be there whether I like it or not. You know?
Like shrimp or fish?
Nothing that. Now listen to me. You're a classic case of how I respond after I've told somebody that they don't like to eat anything that lives or grows in the water. Listen to what I said. Lives or grows in the water. And notice I didn't say fresh water, salt water, none of that.
Water.
Wastewater, nothing. I didn't. None of that. You know. But that's me. Okay.
Scientists examine what chemicals make the Asian fruits smell like turpentine and onions.
Look at that. Look at that.
Garnish with gym sauce.
Garnish with a gin sauce. I like that even better. That's way better than anything I could say about it.
If this makes it into video here, right? Definitely put that clip a week before we just read that off and how was describing it before.
It's banned on the Singapore Rapid Mass Transit.
Oh, wow. Sticky stuff.
It doesn't have a smell at all when you just carry it.
Durians have a notorious aroma likened to rotting meat, turpentine, and gym sauce.
Yeah.
So go ahead and throw some rotting meat in there.
It says your breath will smell as if you've been French kissing your dead grandmother.
Oh, Ken.
This is
It does. It says it right there.
This is the Smithsonian site.
That's some bad stuff.
If you have smelled it once, you will remember it.
The German Research Center for Food Chemistry is attempting to figure out how exactly the fruit produces such a powerful smell.
You get a $500 fine.
Yeah, this is interesting stuff.
Garlic, cheese, onion.
I mean,
Let's shift gears a little bit into something called perfume. Perfume is generally considered to have a nice aroma. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Like a skunk.
Yes, but do you know what some of the most expensive perfume in the world has as its main ingredient? Ambergris, exactly. It's whale vomit. Ambergris. I have a feeling, I haven't walked up to a whale and asked him to vomit so that I could smell his vomit, but I'm thinking that ambergris probably doesn't smell, but the quality of being able to have the intensity of the smell that it has can be chemically enhanced in a way that makes it smell good.
Asian folklore. The getting intoxicated while eating durians can lead to death.
Yeah, look at some of those chemicals. So, did I exaggerate when I was talking about durian?
No, I think maybe they are.
No, they're not exaggerating. I live in a household where I'll see it, and they're pretty good sized fruit. I mean, they're about as big as a football normally, You know,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, the average size is about of the fruit itself, but by the time you get the guts of it out, where the real taste is.
Well, the Lord
What?
does make and create these things.
Okay, I went and got us all a little bit off of the path of the question. Whether you like something or not, depending on the circumstances. Certainly, if somebody's involved in criminal activity, get away. I mean, you guys know that. You just
Kind of good and bad.
you know, just get away from it. You know, if people are speaking things that are of no interest to you, or frankly offensive to you, don't stay there. To the extent that you have control over it,
Don't feed into it.
you know, don't feed into it. You know. Now I know sometimes people go into a court situation where the judge is not perhaps the most friendly judge in the world, but I guess some of them are not. You don't have an option there normally to walk away, at least not without some kind of retribution coming your way. But you know, you got to choose. But no, if the environment is dark and it can be dark in broad daylight.
Yes.
I mean, there could be light outside, but there could be a darkness within your own soul.
Yes.
And if that darkness is pervasive, then change your environment.
How do you change your environment if you're stuck?
Move. Well,
Stuck here?
you know, you are allowed to walk out onto the sidewalk at least, if not more than that.
Put the worm away again.
Huh?
I'm gonna put the worm back away again. Because like you say, don't open up that can of worms and it's already open and then like I keep going like want to get like more I'm not gonna do that. Just do it.
Yeah.
It's another time.
Yeah. What does it matter? As you
Does
said,
it matter?
as you say, what does it matter?
It could. It depends on what happens after.
You know,
It's open, we're not gonna open it.
I mean, it apparently didn't matter to Hillary. Benghazi didn't matter to her at all. You know? All right, where are we? Anybody remember where we are? We get ready to. Did we read Matthew 6:25 through 34 yet?
I think we're judged not lest you be
We're right
judged.
there.
7.
7, 1 to 12.
Where?
Not 7?
Oh, dealing with others. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, dealing with others, because you folks have to deal with others. You know, I have a house. My wife goes to work. I could deal with only me if I want. I don't need to have people in my house.
That's why you didn't answer the phone.
Yeah, it was a house phone. I wasn't there that day.
Good comeback.
Yeah, but an outright lie. But anyway, Matthew 7, 1 through 12. Y'all got to listen to this because you all have to deal with others.
New American Standard Bible.
Yep.
Do not judge so that you will not be judged. For in the way you judge, you will be judged. And by your standards of measure, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck that is in your brother's eye, but you do not notice the log that is in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me take the speck out of your eye, and behold, the log is in your own eye? So, you hypocrite, first take the log out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. Do not give what is holy to dogs, and do not throw your pearls before swine, or they will trample them under their feet and turn and tear you to pieces. 7. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be open. Or what man is there among you who, when his son asks for a loaf, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, he will not give him a snake? Will he? If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give what is good to those who ask him? In everything, therefore, treat people the same way you want them to treat you. For this is the law and the prophets.
Okay, and then the parallel passage in Luke 6:37 through 42.
ESV.
Okay.
Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. For with measure you use, it will be measured back to you. He also told them a parable. Can a blind man lead a blind man? Will they not fall into a pit? A disciple is not above his teacher, but everyone, when he is fully trained, will be like his teacher. Why do you see the speck that is in your brother's eye, but do not notice the log that is in your own eye?
Amen.
How can you say to your brother, brother, let me take out the speck that is in your eye, when you yourself do not see the log that is in your own eye? You hypocrite. First take out the log of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to take out the speck that is in your brother's eye. For no good tree bears bad fruit.
Okay.
Nor,
Yeah, I think you know.
Part.
You're on a roll there, but yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have let you. Maybe I should have just let you continue, but you know. Okay. All right. Solemn warnings. Matthew 7:13 through 8:1. Keep in mind that that's probably a good bit of reading if you choose to take that on.
Enter ye. Sit right here.
Okay.
Alright. Line in the back. Enter ye in at a straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go into thereat.
Yeah. Yes, they're at.
Mm-hmm. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns, or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth from evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, my Father not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name do many wonderful work. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will take him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And every one that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon the house, and it fell. And great was the fall of it. And it came to pass, when Jesus had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine. For he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him.
Okay, parallel passage, Luke 6:43 through 49.
For a good tree bringeth not forth corrupt fruit, neither does a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. For every tree is known by its own fruit, by his own fruit. For as thorns men do not gather figs, nor of a bramble bush gather they grapes. A good man out of the good treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is good, and an evil man out of the evil treasure of his heart bringeth forth that which is evil. For of the abundance of the heart his mouth speaketh. And why call ye me, Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? Whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings, and doeth them, I show you to whom he is like. He is like a man which is built on a house. He is like a man which built a house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And when the flood arose, the stream beat vehemently upon that house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon a rock. But he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell. And the ruin of that house was great.
I enjoy the irony of good tree bringeth forth, does not bring forth corrupt fruit. After all that discussion with about durian, I wonder if durian comes from a tree. Alright. Yeah, that's probably not a theological conversation, however. It's funny, yeah. I'm thinking that must be one of those corrupt fruit trees there, you know. Number 43, healing of a centurion's servant. Somebody will read the first of the three different passages, Matthew 8, 5-13.
And when Jesus was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion, beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus saith unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, Go, and he goeth, and to another, Come, and he cometh. And to my servant, Do this, and he doeth it. When Jesus heard it, he marveled and said to them that followed, Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And I say unto you, that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham, and Isaac, and Jacob, in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into the outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And Jesus said unto the centurion, Go thy way, and as thou hast believed, so be it done unto thee. And his servant was healed in the selfsame hour.
Okay, in parallel passage, Luke 7, verses 1-10.
And the faith of the centurion. When Jesus had finished saying all this in the hearing of the people, he entered Capernaum. There a centurion's servant whom his master valued highly was sick and about to die. The centurion heard of Jesus and sent some others of the Jews to him, asking him to come and heal his servant. When they came to Jesus, they pleaded earnestly with him, This man deserves to have you do this, because he loves our nation and has built our synagogue. So Jesus went with them. He was not far from the house when the centurion sent friends to say to him, Lord, don't trouble yourself, for I do not deserve to have you come under my roof. That is why I do not even consider myself worthy to come to you. But say the word, and my servant will be healed. For I myself am a man under authority, with soldiers under me. I tell this one, Go, and he goes, and that one, Come, and he comes. I say to my servant, Do this, and he does it. When Jesus heard this, he was amazed at him, and turning to the crowd following him, he said, I tell you, I have not found such great faith even in Israel. Then the men who had been sent returned to the house and found the servant well.
Okay, 44, the raising of a widow's son in Luke 7:11 through 17.
And it came to pass that the day after that he went into a city called Nain, and many of his disciples went with him, and much people. Now when he came nigh to the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. And much people of the city was with her. And when the Lord saw her, he had compassion on her, and said unto her, Weep not. And he came and touched the bier. And they that bare him stood still. And he said, Young man, I say unto thee, arise. And he that was dead sat up and began to speak, and he delivered him to his mother. And there came a fear on all, and they glorified God, saying, that a great prophet is risen up among us, and that God hath visited his people. And this rumor of him went forth throughout all of Judea, and throughout all the region round about.
Okay. I think we're going to go ahead and call it a day there because it's quite a long passage that we're going to be reading next. And so it seems like a good stopping point. If anybody's in disagreement, logic or disagreement at this moment. Say again, please. Okay. All right. There being no disagreement, I consider this meeting adjourned.
It's adjourned.